Assalamu alaikum. This is Faiz Mahmood with sixth lecture of PassiveVoice. This is last lecture of this series. Today we will learn more about PassiveVoice of sentences. Be very careful when making PassiveVoice with these verbs: taste, smell, feel. Like quinine tastes better. Now, PassiveVoice is an actually we make PassiveVoice of the verb. We turn an active word into passive verb. So here is a taste is a verb. We need to make this active verb into passive. If we make this bitter is tasted by quinine or something else like this, it will make worse of a sentence and it will lose its meanings even. To be very careful, we will turn this verb into passive voice first. Quinine is bitter when it is tasted. So taste mean the passive voice of taste would be it is tasted. Then we will add the meaning that quinine is bitter when it is tasted. The rose smells sweet. We will make passive voice of smells when it is smelled. Rose is sweet when it is smelled. The wool feels very soft. It is felt. Feel means it is felt. When it is felt, it is the passive voice. The real meaning of the sentence: the wool is soft. Wool is soft. The meaning becomes clear. Wool is soft when when it is felt. So be very careful of making passive voice with the verbs which has sensory meanings or sensory verbs: taste, smell, and feel. When there is no agent in the passive voice, when the agent is absent in the passive voice, it should be supplied in the passive voice. If there is no, uh, sorry, here it should be active voice. When there is no agent in the active voice, it should be supplied in the passive voice, or vice versa. Ship was wrecked. This is passive voice. This is passive voice. So there is an agent who has wrecked the ship, and that agent is a storm. A storm wrecked the ship, or a fierce storm wrecked the ship. Duty should be done. This is a passive voice. One should do one's duty. Here you will find no agent. So here we have provided an agent one. Duty should be done. So we have generalized this meaning that everyone should do his duty. So we have made it as one should do one's duty. There are some typical sentences having proverbs in them. How would we make passive voice of these sentences where some proverb has been used? Like those who live in glass houses should not throw stones at others. So this is the main phrase, the main meaning. Stone should not be thrown. We can make passive voice of this: should not throw stone at others. Stones should not be thrown. Should not be thrown. We can make passive voice of this part of the sentence. And now we can use the other half like this: by those who live in glass houses. We retain the same tense of this clause. God helps those who help themselves. Those who are helped by themselves, like this, who help themselves. Those who are helped by themselves are helped by God. Two passive voice. We made two passive voice because there are two verbs, help and help. First is are helped by themselves, then are helped by God. We long for what we cannot get. what we cannot get. What cannot be got is longed for by us. Is longed for. We are not separating this long from its preposition because it will have no meaning. The meaning would be changed by separating the preposition from the word. Or there are some words from which preposition cannot be separated, as we have read earlier in one of the lectures. 12 months make a year. A year is made of 12 months. So these are the sentences in which idioms have been used. So we make passive voice of these sentences like as examples have been given in this presentation. What cannot be cured must be endured. This is passive voice. We will make an active voice. What one cannot cure, one must endure. A man is known by the company he keeps. We know a man by the company he keeps. I was obliged to dismiss my servant. Circumstances. I was obliged, I was obliged, something forced me to take this decision. And what that thing is? Circumstances. Most probably, circumstances obliged me to dismiss my servant. He was called a fool. They called him a fool. Now, here he was called a fool. Who called him a fool? Someone would be there, or some persons would be there who call him fool. So we took this agent they. He was proclaimed a king. Who proclaimed him a king? They, the people. The people proclaimed him a king. She is not a girl to be trusted. She is not a girl as we would trust. To be trusted, who is saying this? This who is we. We should not trust him. Promise, promises should be kept. Promises, who should keep the promise? One should keep one's promise. He has been blessed with a son. Who blessed him? There's no doubt that God has blessed him with a son. So these are the things where agent is absent, where some idioms have been used. We make change these sentences or change the voice of these sentences like that, as I have explained in these presentations. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Assalamu alaikum.